Alrighty, so today in this video we are going to be going over a couple underrated units within Dokkan, specifically 5 characters that the game has in the moment that I think deserve their flowers a little bit more than they have received in the last couple of months. So, when I deem a unit underrated, that means that they are not the best in the game, but I think they get a bad rap and they deserve a little bit better than what people give them credit for. I'm sure you guys know what underrated means. That's not what I'm here to explain, but I want to kind of give it underrated in the terms of the Dokkan context. You know, mostly this comes from like social media opinions and stuff like that, but I kind of wanted to just talk about it. This gives me something to talk about more with you guys, gives you a little bit of more my evaluation process on the game, what I think of units that I think deserve more love, units that I think are kind of untapped potential. I think they can be better, or they still just have utility overall and they are getting a bit of a bad rap. So with that being said, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. And if you want to interact with my community more, feel free to join the community Discord down below. There is a link in the description, and you will take it there. They'll ask you a few questions about Dokkan and notifications that you want, and you will be ready to go. So I look forward to seeing you there, and I hope that you do enjoy your time spent. So let's go ahead and get into today's list. And the first unit that I'm going to have is an LR that came out during the summer of 2023, who actually ended up aging probably better than his Part 1 counterpart, which is not usual for something like Tanabata. If that didn't give it away, it is going to be AGL LR Omega Shenron. So, AGL LR Omega Shenron, what does he bring to the table? He lives and dies by the debuffing of the enemy. So if the boss is unable to be debuffed, that is where you are going to run into a little bit of trouble with this guy. But when the boss can be debuffed, this guy brings a crazy amount of utility in what he is able to do. So let's go ahead and look at these super attacks, right? If we see the effects right here, most of the time you're going to be looking at the 18 key with this guy. You're going to be getting a 20% attack lowering and a 100% chance to seal. So, if the enemy can be attack lowered and sealed, there you go. The super attack is dealt with, and you also get a defensive raise, and you're also lowering the enemy's defense if you're able to do that. And then, if you get an additional attack, you're going to be getting an additional attack lowering by 20%. So you can see right here, 40% attack lowering on these super attack effects alone, and then we also have a 50% chance to stun the enemy. But we're not done there when it comes to debuffing the enemy. If we go to the passive right here, where is it? We go to... I thought that he innately did it. Am I tripping? Oh, here it is. All enemies attack and defense minus 25%. You can see that right here. So if we look at that in total, we have a 25% attack lowering, a 45% attack lowering, and then a 65% attack lowering. And not only do we have that, we also have a chance to take away super attacks, and then we also have an additional chance to stun. And we're not even done there. When we have the revival skill that gets activated once 3 or more turns have elapsed from the start of battle, or the target enemy is in the attack or defensive down status, this guy can do very easily because he does it passively, or once 6 or more turns have started from the battle elapsing, we are going to be able to revive. And then after we get the revival skill, we are going to be getting a guaranteed additional super, and in fact attacks are effective against all types for the rest of the fight. So where do things get a little bit tricky? It's this damage reduction restriction with the GT Bosses category allies, where, you know, people kind of shoehorn him into only being ran on the GT Bosses team, which is valid because he is a pure 200% leader for it, so I think there is some validity there. But when we go down here, you can see he is on a couple teams that are decent, right? I'll be fair. I think Powerful Comeback is a good team, but this is not his team. Transformation Boost, Shadow Dragon Saga, and GT Bosses are his team. Shadow Dragon Saga is not a team. Full Power, he doesn't fit. Battle of Fate, he doesn't fit. But again, with all this attack lowering and what the GT Bosses team is able to do, I think this guy just provides a lot of utility in keeping you alive in fights because the enemy just simply can't do anything when this guy is around. So I think that is why I'm going to have this guy as one of the underrated units. They're not ranked 1 to 5 or anything. We're just going to be looking at 5. So now we're going to go into our second unit, and this one might be a little controversial. I have LR Full Power Broly. I think we've reached the point where this guy gets a bad rap, literally, just because of this. Like, I see people all the time saying it's like, his leader skill is terrible, his team sucks, but it's just not true. And when I say underrated, I mean that people put this guy at like 10 when I don't think that's the case. So this is like the best of the bunch in terms of underrated units. Like, this guy is still very high up on the rankings, but I think he should be higher than what I see from people. What does this guy do? Well, for one, there is one thing that he is on, and we're going to pull this up really quickly. What category is he on? He's on Miraculous Awakening. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Who is this? Is this who I think it is? It's LR Beast Gohan. That means he's on LR Beast Gohan's team. So, LR Beast Gohan, with all his defensive utilities, being able to run Gogeta, all of the protection that you can run, you can put this guy on a team where you're going to be having a unit that can do these 20 million AoEs, all this crazy stuff, and then he's also going to have a domain. And when you have this domain, we have extreme class allies and enemies, attack plus defense plus 10%. So, you know, not the end of the world. And then super class, you know, he is going to debuff or, you know, debuff super class allies and enemies a little bit, but 10% isn't the end of the world. And, you know, this active skill, I think, is very, very impressive. I think the attack stats this guy can put out are very good. We have guard against all attacks. We have all that fun stuff. We have raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn. We're going to be stacking attack, going crazy with all that, and is going to help a lot with the damage. And then with the taunts and stuff like that, we'll be good to go. Where this guy's domain is not going to absolutely screw the team, and you're going to easily be able to protect him with the kind of units that you can run around him. Is the Super Boss's team a joke? Absolutely. But this guy fits well on the Beast Gohan team, and I think that is going to stand for a lot. So that is why I have this guy at number 2. I think this guy is a bit underrated and deserves a little bit more credit than he gets. So now we'll be moving into the kind of, you know, these units aren't going to be as good as the last 3, but they still, I think, deserve the love that they used to get. In this case, it's going to be used to get Vegeta and Trunks. I think Vegeta and Trunks for 99% of players is going to have an extreme value, and it's pretty simple. I feel like we keep coming back to this, but right here. Bond of parent and child, this category is stupid. And it still is like one of the best team categories in the game, right? Superheroes is a better team, but this roster is like crazy with how much, like, I mean, it's like, you know, a lot of the superhero units just fit on this team, right? Where, you know, the 8-year LRs are right here. We got a 9-year LR right here. We've got worldwide download from last year. We got worldwide download from the year before. At one point, right? Yeah, right here, this guy. Like, it's so well represented in the game with so many characters and so many different options to run the team that I think that this team just has crazy, crazy value. And even if you don't want to run them on that team, you could still run them on superheroes. You can still run them on Future Saga. You can run them on Joint Forces, Time Travelers, all these other different teams, Bond, Master, and Disciple. All of these different teams they fit on, and then they also are going to be providing value with their guard. If you can park them in slot 1, they stack their defense, they still do all that fun stuff. And then we also, where is it? We have this active skill, which is going to be raising allies' defense by 20% for 1 turn, where that could be extremely valuable. I think that this unit is like not going to be like a 9th anniversary Slayer or anything like that, but in the context of the entire game, I think that these guys still provide value to the team that a lot of units just can't do, and that leader skill alone is going to kind of keep them around for a bit, right? This was the #1 unit in the game for a pretty long time, right? Where they went through a phase where it was like, you would assume that they would be replaced as the best unit in the game after the worldwide download celebration, where we get like Revival Bird Coup, and then we get Cooler and all that fun stuff. It doesn't happen. This unit is still all in all better. I was a little bit on the Goku hype train, but these guys ended up being better. Then we go through, like, it took all the way up until Orange Piccolo's release for these guys to be dethroned. And in Dokkan, that is a very long time, right? Like, if you can maintain your spot as the #1 unit in the game for like a year plus, that was a sign of a really good release. And that doesn't happen very often, right? Like Orange Piccolo, I say, was the best unit in the game all the way up until like Beast Gohan came out, right? And then like AGL UI Goku lasted until about full power Frieza in the eyes of most. I preferred UI Goku, but I'm just biased, so keep that in mind. But like these guys, they had a pretty long reign as the best unit in the game. I'd say all the way up until Orange Piccolo came out, so like a little bit under, like around 6 months. That's a pretty good sign for a Dokkan unit. So I just want to keep that in mind, that these guys I think are going to come in at my #3 spot. I think they are a little bit underrated. Sure, they're not going to solo the 9th anniversary content or anything like that, but they still can find value in certain ways. Now, we're going to be moving on to TURs here, and go figure, it's going to be 2 female AGL units. And the first one is Android 21. I think this unit is extremely, extremely, extremely impressive, and she can fit in on a couple different teams, right? We got Transformation Boost, Majin Power, Androids. I'm not going to read all the categories, but like Battle of Wits, like that team, that's not really a team, but I think really with like Transformation Boost and stuff like that, she can look extremely impressive. This is a unit that if we look at this passive right here, she is not restricted by any category units, and she can just be herself, right? Without having to worry about just completely sabotaging the team to make her look good, right? Because some units are like that, and the next unit we're talking about will be like that, but I think that they've kind of aged her pretty well. And like, it's just looking, you can see everything that she is doing right here. We have a lot of dodge, we have damage reduction, we have all that fun stuff. We have attack breaks, we have attack defense and raising and stuff like that. We've got HP with this when we transform into Majin 21. We've got, you know, more HP, what's it called? Like broken right here, massively raising attack and stuff like that, effective against all types. We have decent links with big bat bosses, shocking speed, fierce battle, brainiacs can kind of work. You can see her linking partners right here. It's going to be a bunch of 21s, but like, you know, you could run her on a team with Buhan being around, and it's like those two are very impressive within themselves, right? Like this unit, I think, has potential to get even better with time. It's like right here, we have damage reduction, we have additional ki. All allies ki +2 is very nice. You never know when you're going to need that. So very good. I think this unit is extremely underrated. I think that she deserves the love that she gets, and I hope that she ends up being a little bit better. So let's go ahead and clear out the video with the only repeat offender from the last time I did this video. I think I did it right before the 9th anniversary, but Kale. AGL Kale has seen an extreme kind of like, I don't want to say a comeback, but she has seen a bit of a resurgence, right? And I know those are kind of the same word, but if we look at the teams right here, you can see she's on 14 categories, so a lot of different options. Full power, power beyond Super Saiyan, pure Saiyans doesn't really make the cut, transformation boost, but it's Universe 6 where I kind of like, you know, I get excited because this EZA, good. This EZA, good. Sure, they're decent. For linking, I'll pull up the category, but this EZA, insane, busted, crazy, and super good. We have Vados running around, and then if we open up the Universe 6 category, I'm not done yet. We're going to be working through Kefla, essentially, and we have STR Kaba, who's EZA'd, and then we also have STR Hit, who's EZA'd. And so now, Universe 6 has seen like almost an entire revamp, right? And it doesn't say EZA because we're on JP, we haven't gotten them yet, but we will soon. Like this team has seen a bit of a revamp, and in turn, Kale being as powerful as she is, she needs Universe 6 allies right here, and that is going to help her be the best that she can be. So there we go. We have 5 units who I think are underrated within the game right now. To start with number 1, I did AGL Omega Shenron. At number 2, we had Full Power Broly. At number 3, we had Trunks of Vegeta. At number 4, I had AGL 21. And then at number 5, I had AGL Kale. So a lot of AGL units, go figure. I didn't really realize that until I finished the video. But let me know down below what you guys think. What units do you think are underrated? Do you think I missed the mark on any of these? All that fun stuff. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the Dokkan content that we post every single day on the channel. If you want to further support me, consider joining the Discord or becoming a channel member down below. It helps me out greatly. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.